Hello, my sweet, sweet soul sisters and brothers. Mindy Arbuckle here, and I'm so happy to be here with you. I want to share a little bit about life and the struggles that we go through. So, I think all of us can admit to being busy at times, if not most of the time. We all live such full lives, and the modern world that we live in gives us so many conveniences. And also, I think because of those conveniences, we sometimes put more pressure on ourselves to meet higher and higher expectations. And so today I want to just share with you, like, can we be these busy, full people without getting knocked off of our centers, with being in flow? Okay, so I have been a yoga teacher, spiritual guide, coach for pretty much my whole adult career, which is phenomenal. I mean, I love what I've been able to teach people, how I've been able to help serve the world, what I've been able to accomplish, so many good things. And I'm also totally human. I have two kids. They're both doing homeschool right now because we aren't back into in person education yet. I've got a 6-year-old in first grade. I've got an 11-year-old in sixth grade. She just started middle school, right? I've got a husband. We've got a house. We've got a property. We've got to be able to take care of a lot of different things. Our house is phenomenal and it needs a lot of love. So we continuously do house projects, home improvement projects. And we love where we live, so we want to be outside. We want to be doing all these fun things. We want to see the fall colors like we did over the weekend. And we still got to get stuff done and do the dishes and vacuum and dust and all those things, right? And I think most of you can probably relate to this. We're all doing so much. My point today is, who are we being when we're doing all of that? Ooh, the sun is changing angles in my office window and it is getting very bright here. Okay, so who are you being when you are so busy? That's the question. That's the most important question you can ask yourself right now, is who are you being when you're doing all this stuff? When you've got your job, when you're working with your clients, with your colleagues, who are you being? And that's your identity. That's who you are most of the time, okay? And this is based off of, generally speaking, mindset and the background self talk that's going on inside of our heads and inside of our bodies all day long. Thoughts are vibrations, right? So thoughts become things. Our thoughts, especially the ones that are on repeat, those are the things, the thoughts that become our life. They lead our actions. They teach us who to be. They help us show up when shit hits the fan, right? So who are you being? What are those dominant thoughts? What are the dominant emotions that you're living in? Have you gone numb to your emotions? I mean, can you even identify your emotions? For most of my life, I couldn't even identify what I was feeling. I knew I was feeling something and it kind of felt like this or that, but I couldn't actually like go in and tap in and figure it out. I knew when I was mad. I knew when I was sad, but that was kind of like, and when I was happy, that was about the extent of it. I didn't even understand that my emotions were messengers. And emotions are primary thoughts. They're experiences that we put ourselves through. They're meant to teach us something. They have golden nuggets, but sometimes they're uncomfortable. And so we choose not to look at them, which is burying, repressing our emotions. And if you're numb, that's just like all you're doing is just putting it, like sweeping it under the rug, sweeping it under the rug. Another one under the rug. Pretty soon your rug is piled high and you can't even utilize it anymore. Okay? So can you be busy and in the flow? That is honestly determined by whether or not you're showing up as the person you know yourself to be, or you're showing up as the person who you've been trained to be. What do I mean by that? Who you've been trained to be? Well, we've all been conditioned negatively. Okay, before you turn 18, or by the time you turn 18, you've heard no or some form of no, you can't, you're not good enough, that's not going to work, don't do that, be safe, that kind of stuff, at least 150,000 times. Okay, that's a lot. Our mind and our human self, this reptilian brain down at the base of the top of the brain stem, sorry. I'm thinking the back of the head. That is meant to keep us safe. That's where our small self lives. And that's totally fine. It's got a great job to do. Thank goodness it's there. If I am crossing a street and a car is pulling and driving at me full speed, that part of me is going to pull me back and keep me safe. Do everything it can to do that. The problem is that that part of you is not looking out for your highest good. It's not teaching you how to expand out of your comfort zone. It's teaching you how to live within confinement. You're like a bird in a cage who can't stretch its wings and really fly. And so how do we get out of the busy doingness and out of the flow and back into the flow? Well, honestly, I've been building my flow muscles for the past few weeks very consciously. I've been building these flow muscles for probably about 20 years, how long I've been doing this work of teaching and sharing and studying and practicing yoga and meditation and mindfulness and spirituality. And I've just been continuously getting better at it. The more you do it, the better you get, the stronger you get at it. You see, for me, even though I've been studying and practicing doing all this for 20 years, my initial programming, my initial conditioning was to be a doer, not to be a flower. I didn't say flower, I said flower, to be in the flow versus in the doing nature. I was trained so well to like really be productive, to get shit done, to see a problem, get through it, fix it, go, keep going, okay? And I think a lot of us probably, there's a lot of people out there like that. And if you aren't like that, more power to you, okay? You have a different skill set. However, when you're trained to do, to shift into the being and to shift into the flow state, is sometimes it feels like it's hard to trust that. Okay, can you relate to that? It's hard to trust in that flow nature, even though you know it's there, it's supporting you, the universe has got your back, like it's always working for your highest grade and greatest good. Sometimes it's really hard to trust it and to really surrender some of your doing nature and figuring out how everything has to happen and allow everything to be. Invite things in, to live in a place of flow while doing all the shit that you got to do. Okay, we all have to do a lot of stuff just to keep up in this world. Doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom. Goodness gracious, those women have so much to do. Doesn't matter if you're a CEO boss. Doesn't matter if you are educated or not educated. It doesn't matter if you're working from home and teaching your kids now or helping them through online learning. It doesn't matter who you are on the outside. This being nature is your choice. It's choosing who shows up. So are you choosing to show up in your old patterns of pressure cooker, feeling like you have so much to do that you're drowning and you just don't even know how to surface, feeling stuck, feeling anxious, feeling underappreciated, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling all these low vibration, irritable, angry, jealous kind of vibrational sensations. So you can show up as all of those. Absolutely. And you know what? All of them have a message for you if you have the courage to listen to it and look at it and learn from it. However, most of us don't do that because we weren't taught how to do that. But you also have a choice to show up in joy in connection, in love, in gratitude, to show up in a place of abundance. Even when the world doesn't show up in abundance for you, you can show up in abundance for it. You can show up with compassion, with empathy. There's so many other ways that you can show up: courageous, bold, communicative, open, honest. Okay? The power of the flow state happens when you make that choice of who you're going to show up as. Who are you going to be? Are you going to let your superhero rule the show, or are you going to let your supervillain rule the show? Superhero is your divine self. That's your soul self, your sweet self, okay? She's always got your back. She's always got the best in mind for you. Even when it stretches you a little bit, she's always got what's going on for you, and she wants only the best. Okay, she's there to teach you how to be a better person, how to be a better you. Supervillain is your ego human self. It's your small self. And that part of you is really just there to keep you safe. It's really just keep you on the straight and narrow and to help you get stuff done, but to not do really much more than the basics, the minimum. And the minimum might be a lot for you, right? Like everybody's minimum is at a different place. But it's like getting by, but you're not enjoying things. You're not loving life. You're not grateful. You don't have appreciation for what's going on in your life. And it feels heavy. It feels hard and exhausting, totally exhausting. So you get to choose. Do you want to be in that doing mode or in the being mode? And the really cool thing is that when you choose to be first, to be the person you know yourself to truly be and not be ruled by your patterns and your programs, your habits, your automatic reactions anymore, when you choose to be in that superhero divine self state, then the doing nature happens. The doingness happens, but with a whole lot more ease. So I just keep having joyful experiences with Facebook and then keep shutting down my ad account for my business. And that's frustrating. And I could dive into and indulge in those frustration, angry kind of vibes, or like what happened yesterday. They shut me down a couple weeks ago. They wouldn't once they reopened me up, they wouldn't take my previous card that I had used for them. So I had to put in a personal credit card until my new business credit card showed up in the mail. So yesterday I put in my new business card that I got purposefully just for Facebook because there had been no other fraud on it. And then they said, oh no, we're going to disable your account again. And honestly, all I could do was just laugh. Like, are you kidding me? We are going to be best buds here pretty soon. I'm going to get to know you really well. So you can show up with joy, with laughter, with, oh my gosh, nothing surprises me anymore. Or you can show up as angry and frustrated, but you're the one choosing. Another experience of this flow is like this morning I looked at my calendar and I had to take the kids to the doctor for their well checks and their shots. And then I had like a little bit of an overlap. I really actually had a double booking with a new client, and then I had my team meeting today, and then I had this, and then I have another personal client meeting, and then I'm going to work with my daughter this afternoon with rock climbing. Okay, so like just packed schedule. And I was a little bit worried about this overlap with the doctor's appointment and my new client. And I looked again an hour later. And I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to be able to make all of this work? And the universe had cleared my schedule. She took off this client and rescheduled her for later on this week. And I looked at that and I said, oh, thank you. Thank you for opening up space in my schedule for me today so that I didn't have to be so stressed out and anxious about how to fit everything together. So there's an example of being in flow when your schedule and your plate is totally full. When you are in this flow state, you can handle it all. Even if I would have had to figure it out, I would have figured it out, but I would have done it with a smile in my heart and on my face. right? Because that's who I'm showing up as, that's who I'm choosing to be. And when you claim the power of your choice about who you're going to show up as, you become like infinitely more powerful in who you are. It is ridiculous how amazing this mindset changes your whole life. And that's what I'm really stinking good at for helping people with in their life, is figuring out, how do I get out of the hustle and into the flow of my life? It's very apparent, it's very simple. The logical mind gets it, but you just tell the logical mind by reading a book or watching a video, and the doing nature will just keep taking over, because that negative conditioning is so much stronger than the positive conditioning that it will really overwhelm you again and get you right back to where you started. Even if you had a couple of great days where you felt like you're in the flow, this is why we go back and forth from flow to hustle all the time, is because we've been conditioned to be in the hustle. We've been conditioned to get stuff done and to prove our worth and our value by doing the things, okay? We don't have people teaching us how to be in the flow. We don't have accountability partners for being in the flow. We don't have a coach most of the time in our lives that's holding us accountable to living our greatest good. But guess what? You have that opportunity right now. When you are ready to live in that flow state, to accept the abundance that the universe has for you, to be able to enjoy your family, to be able to enjoy the life that you've built for yourself, to be able to enjoy all the blessings, all the gratitude that you have already, even more, that's when it's time to give me a call. Set up an appointment. It's amazing what can happen in a 45-minute call with me. And if it's right, maybe we'll work together beyond that. I would love to support and love more and more and more women. That is my dharma, to really help you elevate yourself into that flow state where, you know, money comes to you with greater ease, where life happens, where like the parking space at the grocery store miraculously opens up right when you drive in, right? Being able to really live in that flow state is one of the gifts that I can teach people, and really hold you accountable for being in that state and just determining what it is that you really, really want in life. So if that is you, I encourage you, just go to mindyarbuckle.com/talk and schedule an appointment with me. I have space in my calendar for the rest of the week. I would love, love, love to talk to you and support you on your path, on your process of building the life of your dreams. It is a joyful life, and you deserve so much, sweet sister. I look forward to talking with you again super soon. All of my love. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. If you have distinctions, bring them to the comments as well. Like, oh my gosh, that made so much sense. Put it in the comments, because we can all learn from each other. And really go ahead and like the video, share the video, find it on YouTube as well. And I really just want to say I love and appreciate each of you so much for being a part of this community. And I can't wait to continue to grow and expand with you. Mwah. Lots of love to you.